brothers and sisters, the heavyweight champion of the world, Salaam Alaikum, Muhammad Ali. I'm not putting this on
searching and raising one from among us to lead, to teach us, to guide us in the way of truth and light. I speak none other than the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and I greet my brothers and sisters in our original language, the Arabic language, which means may peace be unto you. Assalamu Alaikum. Well, first of all, I would like to say I'm very happy to see a full house here today. Everybody looks happy and rested, and we just hope that all of those of you who are here for the first time will listen carefully and concentrate on what you hear, weigh it on the scales of truth, weigh it on the scales of falsehood, and just ask yourself, am I crazy? Is this the truth? Is this better than what I or we have been taught in the past? And those of you who are here for the second or the third time, just take what little you will hear today and add it on to what you have already heard. Right. Because the more you come to Muhammad's Mosque of Islam, you will always learn. It's not like the church where every Sunday you hear the same old thing every Sunday, sing the same old hymns and songs that are there in black and white, printed by the white men for you before you got there. Everything you hear in Muhammad's Mosque is factual, is truth. You can see it every day. You can feel it. You can touch it. You knew it was the truth, but you never could take and just pinpoint it. You always knew, or we always knew, something was wrong with white people. We knew something was different about white people. We never understood why we were the first fired and the last hired, why we caught so much hell. We knew something was wrong, but we never could place it. All countries, all nations, black and white, red and yellow and brown, all religions, all civil rights groups, all people have laws, they have standards in which they govern themselves by. And this is to keep law and order, to keep people straight. Even the devil wants to be, or he pretends that he is straight. You see these Catholic sisters walking around in long robes daily pretending to be righteous, and they are the real devil. Right. These are the real righteous sisters you see here, right, that really live righteous. The reason you and I have been going to church and religious meetings in the past is to better help our lives spiritually and to lead and guide us on the way of righteousness. The reason you and I have attended civil rights meetings, urban league meetings, core meetings, NAACP meetings, we were seeking, or we were looking for freedom, justice, and equality. Something was wrong. This is the reason we had to have the meetings, to straighten the problem or to find the solution to the problem. The reason you and I went to school, went to college, all type universities, was to better our educations. The reason we went was to get a solid foundation of education that could, that would allow us to earn enough money or to secure a future for ourselves and our children. And the reason we go to doctors, the reason we take medicines, is to cure the various sicknesses that we have daily, such as headaches, high blood pressure, low blood pressure, rheumatism, lumbago, and arthritis, and so on. Now, when we went to the churches, did we get a solution that would help us from our dirty, filthy condition? Did we hear, and is the truth in the church strong enough to clean up the prostitution that's walking past churches every day? The wineheads, the sissies, the bulldaggers, the dope addicts, everything that you Negroes shooting and cutting each other. Churches on every corner, and none of them have done nothing to straighten us out as a people. We seem to be getting worse every day. Dresses are getting shorter. Everything is happening, and the churches are on every corner. Did we get what we went to find in the church? We didn't get it. We ran into more sissies leading the choir. Okay. We as a nation have become so dirty and so evil, we didn't just with filth until we just didn't pass through filth or just walk through filth, but we have been cankered. We have just grown and been cankered in filth. And the condition that you and I are in today, we are the most backwardest, disunified, the most savages and killingest people. Saw the two Negroes other night beating the women. Get up, bitch! Right across the street from a church, in a bed joint. It's going to take a strong, strong soap lie to eat that cankeredness that we have encountered with coming in contact with the white man. When we went to the civil rights meetings and went to the Urban League, the CORE, the ACT, the SNCC, did we find a solution to our everyday problem? We didn't find a solution. Your everyday problem is with the white man. And going to these meetings, you had more white folks in there jiving and pretending they're liberals than you did black. The leaders of these organizations, the heads are white. When the civil rights leaders go behind the doors to talk, all of their strategy men are white men and white women, drinking coffee and smoking and talking about we're marching next week and how we're going to do this. And here you are looking in the eyes of the blue-eyed cracker, planning how you're going to get free. And half of them are going back to the FBI. The niggas are marching tomorrow at 12. They're going to be coming down so-and-so street. And then when these movements, CORE, Urban League, all type movements that we had set up by the white man, not condemning our brothers who belong to this, but we, as I said earlier, just stop and think and listen to what you hear in Muhammad's mosque and you'll see the light. Because truth is the light. And we've been in darkness for 400 years, and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is the only man that's got the plain truth that will automatically let you see the light. After these movements were started, and after we put them to practice, what did you meet? Sticks, dogs, pistols. Right at this at this exact moment, throughout the country, the white people are shooting us down. Right. Bringing in heavy artillery. Soon they might roll tanks downtown. They're already bringing in machine guns and all type mortar fire and jeeps and all type army equipment. All-out war equipment, like they're going to fight another nation, coming to get the poor Negro. When Muhammad says we are the best, we are the original man, this proves you're the best. You get a little pop gun in a bottle, and he's got to get the whole army. He's so scared. The reason you and I went to school, the reason we went to college, was to get a good understanding, to get a knowledge, to get knowledge to work and to do for ourselves and better our children, to know right from wrong. But that didn't help us. The more education we seem to get and the wiser our people get, the less they will come around the poverty-stricken, the less they will stand up for you. They are completely people with black bodies and white minds. They talk white. They eat white. They dress white. They want to be with white folks. They're just sickening when you meet a real educated Negro that has no knowledge of himself. He talk like her. You can't listen to the newsmen on radio. Half of them talking now across the country are white. And the way he talked, you wouldn't know who he was. Today in Vietnam, the so-and-so attacked the so-and-so. 53 communists dead and 2 Americans. It's always 1,000 of them and 2 of us. Just like that old cowboy picture. The good guy always rode the white horse. Huh? And every day they send in hundreds of thousands of men calling for him, but hundreds of thousands to Vietnam. But when you hear the news, it's always a few of us, and thousands of them are dead, but we just can't get them out of the way. And these Negroes help brainwash you, talking like white folks. Education is good. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us we need an education today living in this society. But an education is nothing if it's just for you. I mean, if it's just for you and your personal gain, as the minister said. And education means nothing if you don't have a knowledge of yourself to go with it. Right. Nkrumah from Ghana, or the ex-Nkrumah, before he was exiled. Africans come to America, get half the education that we have, and go back and lead a tribe or run a whole nation. Right. And all we can do with our educations is stand in line and beg the white man for a job. But when you come to Muhammad's mosque, this is the only place that you can really get a true education. Many of us who are now in Muhammad's mosque, many of us didn't graduate from school. Many of us did, but really didn't deserve it, such as me. I barely got out on my little boxing ability. I would bluff the weakest boy in the class and get all of the tests from him, but I never did really get them ahead. And now that I've accepted the teachings of Islam by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, I can go on any television show with any white man, Howard Cosell, Wide World of Sports, Johnny Carson, Merv Griffin. I'll be on the Mayor show tonight with Mayor Samuel at 7:30. Cut him up. Joey Bishop, cut him up. That's right. The mayor of all Los Angeles, and I'm a little old Kentucky boy, barely got out of high school, cut him up. He had to pause for intermissions 3 times to get off he got off the subject. Watch it, you'll see it. Who taught me? The Honorable Elijah Muhammad and what we did in here. All of the medicines that we took for arthritis, lumbago, rheumatism, headache, it really didn't solve the problem. For a few days it would maybe heal us, and then we go right back to the same old thing that caused the sickness. But if you go back over all of these subjects that I'm now talking on, what we were looking for in the church, we never did get. The only place you can get true spiritual guidance, the only place you can hear a teaching that will stop you from the evil and the sins and the things and the weaknesses that you have is here in Muhammad's mosque. This is the only place you can hear a teaching that will completely stop and change you. All of the sisters you see now, all of the brothers, myself, hundreds and thousands all over America, we were just like you before we came in here and heard the truth. Huh? We all. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad is the only man with the solution that will clean us up, not only externally, but internally. Many of us are clean on the outside, sitting in the church. We smelling sweet and all of our perfume and aftershave lotions, and we had a bath and we got on a mohair suit. We look clean on the outside, but we are not clean on the inside. We have all type evil thoughts in our minds. And Jesus once made a parable saying that a cup that is clean on the outside and dirty on the inside is worthy of bearing nothing. meaning that God will not accept you just because you say, "Oh, Jesus! Oh, Lord!" And then as soon as you get home, they got a new car. She thinks she's into something now. Because evil and filthy thinking will cause evil and filthy doing, because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that the true God taught him that everything starts from a thought. Right. When man first made the airplane, he didn't just jump up and make an airplane. He saw a bird one day. He watched how the bird would lighten, how he glide, how his tail was made, his body structure, and he got an idea. He got a thought. And he put on some wings and he jumped off the mountain. He killed his fool self. Another man came along. He said, "Hold it now, let me see." He got him a little box-like object and put some wings on it and a little tail, and he flew a few hundred feet and he crashed. Next man said, "Hold it, it's too heavy. Let's take and light. It's got to be light. A plane's got to be light. Now this thing, your body's heavier than the motor. No wonder it won't stay up." So he made him a plane. He probably flew across the ocean for the first time with one man. Now they have jets that they're making now that will do 2,000 miles an hour or 1,500 with 500 people on them. But how did he create this? It all started from a thought. Right. God's a little bird. So everything we are taught starts from a thought. Right. They say in the Christian teaching that before God created man, he sat with his head in his hand and he was lonely. He said, "I believe I'll make me a man." He had to think about it before he did it. Anything that you have to do now, even if you're itching, anything, it comes to your mind and something tells you that you're itching. And you have to think about it. See? So evil and filthy thinking will cause evil and filthy doing. So the white man knows this. He's a master at deceit. He's the real devil. He wants to carry us to hell with him. He see Elijah Muhammad is here to get you. So what he's doing today, he knows everything starts from a thought. So they got together, all of the faggots and the sisters. All of the clothes designers of women are faggots and sisters. Freaks. They're in London, most of them. Paris, that's where it comes from. France. And this is the last days, and as the messenger warned us 30 years ago that the white man's last trick will be putting this woman on you. She'll just almost be naked. We couldn't see this a few years ago when the dresses were here, and you'd be lynched for looking at a white woman. You couldn't see this. Huh? Right now, parties will be all over Los Angeles tonight. House parties and yard parties. And white women will be all over the place. Beautiful white women, clean, rich white women. And not only will they be there tempting you, but their dresses will come all the way to here. How much tempting can you get? Huh? Yeah, and some of the dresses are so short, they have little special made pants you have to wear on them. Huh? And half of the breasts out. An old Negro been scuffling all his life for a white woman, and all of a sudden he looks up, and here's a blonde-headed, green-eyed, young white girl naked, hitting on him. He can't leave. Only the Honorable Elijah Muhammad has the teachings and the program to make you at least try to fight this type temptation. That church offers you no resistance for the pressure that you are now under and will come to you. Because they say, love everybody. Huh? Love everybody. Love your enemy. Pray for those who despitefully use you. See, we took it the wrong way when they taught us to pray for those who despitefully use you. When man beating your head and whooping your mama, you don't pray for no way of good for him. Pray that he gets cancer. Pray that he have a car accident. Pray something like that happens to him. All of our educations, all of our freedom movements in the past, none of it did nothing to really show you a way to go, to help you in your sicknesses. Only the Honorable Elijah Muhammad can stop us from physical illness. We who follow the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, we don't have headaches no more. We don't have rheumatism. We don't have high blood, low blood, because he teaches us that God taught him that the very food that you ate was destroying you. Huh? Every day you eat something called pork, the pig. Can you turn this board around, brother? Let me draw this pig. Every day we eat something called a pig, and we want you all to know this because it's important, because Almighty God told our leader he loves us so much. He wants to take us out of America and destroy this white man so bad until he'll even drink rattlesnake venom. He will do anything but eat the hog. God will do anything but eat the hog to save you and me. Now you know he's bad. We're not even supposed to touch him. And in the Holy Land, if a hog should die, if they should find one anywhere, they bury him out of town, 10 feet under the ground, and put a fence around the grave spot, and you shouldn't even walk over it. And here we are eating his guts, eating his feet. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that when Almighty God sent Moses 4,000 years ago, he sent Moses into the hillsides and the caves of Europe to civilize and to teach the white man, because the white man was so nasty. He was a caveman. He was so dirty until he was walking on all 4 feet. He didn't even bury his own dead, rotten, decayed bodies, maggot infested, growing all in the ground. Moses went back and told God, I cannot civilize them, I cannot teach them because they're too nasty, they're too dirty, it's too filthy. I'm going to need a scavenger or some type animal that poison won't kill, that can clean up the filth, because I can't even get to him. So by all law, God being all wise, all knowing, he took the cat and he breeded the cat, mated it with the rat. He had to create a poison animal that nothing wouldn't kill. And he took this and he created with the dog, and he came up with an animal called a hog. See? 1 cat, 1 rat, 1 dog equals 1 hog. Each one of these animals have 333 different bacteria, germs, and poisons and diseases. Hogs got 999. And if you look at a hog, you can see the characteristics of all 3 animals in him. You see his cat humpback. You see his rat curly tail. You see his old dog face and ears. Ain't that hog? That's a little hog. That's a little hog. And when the hog is eating, you can hear it. You can hear a dog in him. See? A hog is so nasty, my uncle in Kentucky has got a farm. And the hog is so nasty until they call him a soy. Here's soy. Soy ain't nothing but a garbage container. That's all a soy is. Waste outlet for waste. A hog is so nasty until he's got holes in his feet. Nature has a little outlet here where when his body gets so full of this old congealed white pulse is what you have in sores. Pulse. It flows out. Pulse. If you ever ate a pig feet or anything, you notice your hands are real sticky and mouth is gluey. That's hog pulse. Sticky stuff is pulse. Pulse. You were eating hog pulse. Hog is so nasty until many of these farms in the West and places where they have hogs and where rattlesnakes and things accumulate on the land, and the man is a little afraid to go hunting, he let the hog go out first. And the hog eat up the rattlesnake and the venom and all. And a rattlesnake is so deadly, if he accidentally bites himself, he'll die. Rattlesnake bite a hog and shoot a pound of venom and fluid into him. You know what that hog do? You ever take a shot of whiskey kind of strong? That's what that hog do. You brothers knows the truth because you had a shot last night. Yeah, you can't kill that hog. He's nasty. And if you ever cook a piece of bacon, you notice before you cook your bacon, it's about that big. And time you're through cooking your bacon, it's about like that. All of this white is packed maggots. Maggots. And when you cook your bacon, you can see that worm. He ain't dead, he's jumping. Yeah, he ain't dead. You can laugh, but it's the truth. That old worm kind of looks something like this. This is the body part of him. He's alive here. And this is just a bag of pulse. And when you hear your bacon popping, the fluid runs out his body, and your skillet fill up with what you call grease and lard. That's hog pulse. Right. That's all these maggots bursting. That popping you hear. And when you go to the doctor and you got the headache, the high blood, the low blood, arthritis, rheumatism, lumbago, first thing the doctor take you off of is pork. So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad in reality is the doctor. See? The other doctors are just temporary. They're out to make money. They have a solution to stop you from pains for a few days, but you're right back on it again. So this is the only place we can come to hear the truth that the book said, you shall know the truth, and the truth alone will make you free. We are not free as a nation of people here in America because we don't know the truth. We are looking for freedom, justice, and equality, but we actually don't know what freedom is. We actually don't know what justice is. We actually don't know what equality is. So all of the false guidance, all of the false teachings that you and I have received in the church every Sunday, all of the false teaching that the white men have set up in this urban league core, all this false and temporary and token integration, all of this has completely blinded us, and we are now in the condition of a baby born in jail, or a pregnant woman who has a baby in jail, and the warden kills the mother before, or he separates the mother from the baby before the baby can have a chance to find out who his mother is, before the mother can tell the baby that he's in jail, before the mother can tell the baby that this is not his home, before the mother can tell the baby his name or his history or his ancestry. The mother's completely separated from the baby. And the baby is born in jail. The baby don't know what freedom is. The baby don't know what equality is. The baby don't know what justice is, because the baby's never been outside the jail. He's born in jail. The baby watches the warden feed him. The baby watched the warden clothe him. The warden is housing him there in the jail. So he began to think that the warden is his friend. He thinks the warden is doing him a favor, giving him food. And here comes a man who realizes that the baby is not free. Who tells the baby, say, my brother, you are not free, you're in jail. This is not your name. Well, you're not speaking your language. Well, those are not your clothes. Well, you don't have no type freedom or justice equality. And the baby, say 20 years old, he'll argue you to death. Right. If he's never had freedom, no one never told him that this wasn't home. No one never told him that warden was not really his friend. That little crumb of food that he was getting is nothing compared to being outside the jail, getting your own food, having your own country, and doing something for yourself. This looks good to a slave. If you tell him that you are a slave, or you're not in jail, or you're in jail, he'll argue you down. Same way with the Negro in America today. When we were first brought to America, turn this around, brother. When we were first brought to America by the white man, we were put in this jail. And our mothers and fathers, when the first ones that got here, the white man let them breed in certain barracks and quarters to have children. And immediately when the baby is born, they take the baby away from the mother and father. And they teach the baby what he wants the baby to know. Now the baby's been here in jail watching the white man give him a few crumbs, give him a job, give him a car, dollar down, dollar when I catch you. So he'll swear the white man has been good to him. And here comes the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, who was taught by God, showing you where you are not really free, where you are not getting justice, where you are not getting equality, and the Negro is arguing daily to us, telling us that he is free. I'm an American. I was born here. That don't, if you are what you are by birth, then if Jesus was born in an ox stall, then Jesus is an ox. If a woman has a baby in the ocean, in the ship, in the middle of the sea, between two nations, now, what you gonna call that baby? A shipster, or a fish, or what? Because he was born on the ship? No, you are what you are. If you saw a Japanese walking down the street in Mexico, you're going to say, look, there goes a Japanese. Huh? And Negroes are tricking themselves, running around hollering about, I am an American. I was born. Americans are white people. Americans are not you. You are Asiatic black man, Afro-American. You're not no American. And some of us believe we're white. Those that look white actually get to believe it. They have little movements and organizations where you can't go to them if you look too dark. You have to, the blue vein group or something, you got to be able to see the veins in you. And if you can see the blood veins, then you can be in the movement. They're in Washington, D.C. and New Orleans. Negroes, a bunch of Negroes actually think and trying to be white folks. Sickening. We are so dead, we have been made so dead until we stink in the nostrils of the intelligent world. Wallowing in the cesspool of ignorance. 22 million people calling themselves something that they are not. So we are taught by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad that we have never had freedom, we have never had justice, we have never had equality. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is the only man here today who has the program for you. And in this condition, we have been made leeches. We are completely leeches under the teachings that the American system have put us in. A leech, what is a leech? A leech is one that clings to another one. A leech is a blood sucker. A leech hops on the dog's back, crawls in his nasty hair, and just suck his blood. That's the condition of the Negro in America today. The so-called Negro in America today has been made a blood sucker. He's just jumped up on the white man's back, crawling his nasty blonde hair, sucking his blood for jobs, sucking his blood for equality, sucking his blood for clothing and housing, just sucking his blood, just a leech. And what the leech, the dog, the white man, the dog is getting mad. When you suck a person's blood, you weaken them. And the dog is having trouble in Asia. The dog is having trouble in Africa. The dog is having trouble in Panama, Japan, Vietnam, Zanzibar. The dog is in trouble today, and the leech is just on his back, eating, sucking his blood. And the dog's calling his brother, man, get this leech off my back. Can't you see we're having enough trouble over here and over here? Get this leech off, man, can't even fight for you. So he calls out his army and his National Guard. Hit up, Hardy, hit up, pow, pow, get, steady whooping your head. Broke the stick. Steady whooping your head, We've been made leeches. And what the leech failed to realize is that if the dog dies, he'll die. So if the dog dies and the leech has no more blood to suck, he's got to find another back to jump on. So the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is now putting a wedge between the leech and the dog. With this true teaching, separating you from the dog, because the dog will soon die. The dog is in trouble all over the world. His economy is falling. His money, other countries are cutting off diplomatic relationships with America. America's in trouble. She don't even have jobs for the white folks. And all these Negroes all over America having babies every day have to eat, have to work. And the white man can't keep feeding you. So he's creating some things to get rid of you legally. Birth control pills. Some of everything he's doing today to get rid of you. And the honest man who's the world's greatest coat puller is the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, because if it wasn't him, we wouldn't even think about what we're talking about now. And we paint these little pictures to you so that you may better see and understand the light. Because in the church, we have been told what Jesus said, what Moses said. They have told us a story about the prodigal son. They have told us a story about the lost sheep. We cried and we shout and this and that. But the man never did explain nothing. He never did show us how this could benefit and help us when we leave these church doors today. So a religion only means a way of life. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is the only man that has a teaching that will benefit you as far as a way of a life is concerned. Eating, clothing, respect for women, what to say, what to do, when not to do, where to go, where not to go, who the white man is, who you are, who God is, who the devil is. Anything you want to know, if you keep coming, you can learn here at Muhammad's Mosque. We've been sitting here nearly 1 hour, and you cannot sit in a church for 1 hour and not go to sleep. I couldn't. Many of us gone to sleep. Preacher cannot preach this long on facts and reality. Leave out the spooks and the ghosts and the flying in the sky after you die and the devil and the hell up under the ground. Leave all that out. He cannot talk. That's right. Cannot talk. And at this exact moment, all over America, these lectures have been held in Muhammad's Mosque. And in every mosque, the people are hearing something good and different. And the more you come, you're going to hear something good and something different. And brothers and sisters, this is the reason for us being here today, is to show and give you the light that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad has given us. Because as the book says, the truth is the light. If an example, if it was completely black in here and you couldn't find your way out, and some crack or some door or some outlet was in here that would get you out, if you couldn't find your way out, if I just strike a match and give you a little light, you can better see and find the way out. So we have been here in America in a house of darkness, a house of bondage for 400 years, and we never could find the way out. We never could find a way to get this cracker off our heads legally without getting killed trying to do it. We have been in darkness for 400 years, and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is the only man that's got that light that will help you out. We can take the Islamic teaching, use it as a light. We can walk down the street and we can see a sign that says, no Negroes allowed. We break away. We don't want to be with them no way. Where in the past I used to get mad. To mean I can't go. I have as much right to the place as you do. Here the man owns the store. And I have as much right to it as him. I run in and get my head busted. Now I don't get my head busted no more. See, the truth saves me. Yeah. See, I see a white woman winking. That's the devil. I run. Well, I used to think she was something godly and an angel, because she looked just like the picture of Jesus I had on the wall at home. See, we got a picture here. Somewhere. Where's that picture? Here it is. Look like Jesus' daughter, the white woman. See? And many of you have his picture at home now, calling it the Son of God. If this is the Son of God, then his daddy looked like the Son. So you telling me now God is a white man. And if God is a white man, if Jesus is white, they sure must be prejudiced, because they don't give us nothing, do they? Huh? But hell. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad, brothers and sisters, teaches us that we are a completely tricked and spooked up people. We are the only people that believe in ghosts and spooks and haints and dead people coming back. I was in Africa, I was in Cuba, I was in Ethiopia, I was in Arabia, I was everywhere. I talked to the people just for the fun of it, just to check. And they don't know nothing about no ghosts and no Frankensteins and no Wolfmans and no Batmans. To show you that everything we have comes from white man. Huh? Haven't you, just to show you, now I don't know many of you out here, haven't you, when you were coming up as children, and maybe now some of you by yourself late at night, be sleeping in the bed at night, and you might want to get up to use the restroom or to go to the refrigerator to get a snack or something, and you think you see somebody in the corner, or it looks like something is over there by your bed or something in the hallway. And you kind of look, huh? Have you ever been like that? Ain't that something? And you lay right there scared to move. And then as daybreak comes, you wake up, you say, oh, it's just a broom with a mop or towel on it. White people, Africans, Indians, nobody else is like that but Negroes. Who trained you like that? White folks. You ever go watch Frankenstein or the Wolfman or the Return of Count Dracula? And when you get home at night, you're kind of scared, you're looking for the Wolfman or Frankenstein in your house, huh? Yeah. Thinking the Wolfman is somewhere in your bedroom, and that was at the movie. Huh? Spooked up. You ever go out in the backyard at night or be coming down the alley or somewhere by yourself and you think you heard something? You get a little curious, so you start running and you're running and you feel like something's chasing you, it's trying to grab you, and the farther you get away, closer you get to the door, it's catching you and all of those stuff. Who trained us like that? White folks. Who named you Negroes? White folks. Who told you heaven was up in the sky? White folks. Huh? Who hung you and put you in this condition for 300 years? White folks. Who gave you the cross? White folks. Who painted and made Jesus white? White folks. Huh? Who told you Elijah Muhammad's the wrong man, bad? White folks. Who told you them old black Muslims are hate teachers, communists, don't believe in no God, radical, overthrow the government? White folks. And if you had any kind of sense, how can we overthrow white folks and don't carry no knives or no guns? We don't search each other before you come in, don't carry pistols. If every Negro had a machine gun with a year's round of ammunition, we couldn't whoop white folks. Because after a week we'd be starved because you don't grow no food. We couldn't hold out no wall. We'd be hungry. If we could shoot it out for a year, we couldn't do it. Can't whoop the white man to no violence. He makes you think we're going to overthrow the government. He makes you think we don't believe in no God. He makes you think that naturally you believe in God. Naturally you don't want to come in here if we don't believe in no God. If you check it out, Muslims are the only people who do believe in God. Look at the Muslim sisters. If God or Jesus walked in here now, whoever you believe, he would accept these women quicker than the Christian miniskirt dressed white women and the Negro women that follow white women. These women are more like women that would meet God if he came. These men are more like men that God could carry out of here tomorrow if he had to take somebody. Huh? No whiskeys in him, no cigarettes is in him, his mind is clean, he prays 5 times a day, bathes twice a day, striving to be righteous. No cursing, no profanity, no hanging in nightclubs at night, in the bed when the sun go down, trying to be a righteous man. This is the man God would come to. Women sitting on one side, that's decency. and men on one side, that's purity. In the church, you can mix up and flirt and pat and do anything. Go in drunk. So he's going to tell you that we don't believe in no God. And we're the only people who really practice and believe in God. Jesus would be mad if he came back and saw this hanging on your wall at home. Jesus might stone you. Jesus was a black man, wasn't no white man. Jesus said, after me there will come one to clarify my name. Jesus knew they was going to tell lies on him and paint him white. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is that man that's clarifying and telling the truth about poor Jesus. The white man taught you and is telling you everything that you know about us and anything that you have. And anything that the white man don't like, you should run to it. Right. All the churches are packed today, probably. Hundreds and thousands of our people in church, and what you're hearing today, they will never hear. The truth that, and it's almighty, and the truth that you're hearing here today is fearless and it's bold. Preaching the doom and talking about white folks. Telling you like it is, regardless of what it costs. Not scared of nothing. This teaching is going on right now in Mississippi, Alabama, New Orleans, St. Louis, Georgia. All over America, this teaching is going. And the white folks know just what I'm saying. The FBI know just what we're saying because they are in here. Yeah, some Uncle Toms in here right now that white folks sent to see. And if I could pinpoint him, he swayed with son and listen time I got through with his head. White men know what we're doing. Uncle Tom's going, if we don't end up killing him, the white man end up killing him. Because first things will ask me to come out, hey George, what do you think about that mess? Did you dig it? Oh man, I didn't go for that little black Muslims. That wasn't, I can't stand it, man. I wish y'all get rid of them. He might bust you side your head himself. Because he know you had to like it because it was cut out and made for you. Don't tell him you don't like it, you get in trouble. Telling the white man you didn't like what you heard. It's best to say, yeah, boss, I dug it, but they don't believe in drinking and smoking, and they don't like white women, and they don't believe in nightclubbing. It makes sense, but I couldn't do. He might believe you then, but don't go telling him you don't like it, Tom. We just saying it because So the reason we're saying this to you, Tom, is because you will soon be back. All of our people are going to come to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Martin Luther King is dead. He's been dried up. Clayton Powell will run him out of the country. Anything the white man makes, he can break. I'm an example. I was in his sport of boxing. They built me up in his little way, so he can break me if he won't. Just say, well, we take the title. Any Negro preacher the white man can stop tomorrow if he wants to. But they cannot stop this man. This is one man they cannot stop. Anything that he is the author of, which means that he's the creator of, he can stop. He knows it. He made it. But the white man won't even challenge Elijah Muhammad. He'll send an Uncle Tom house slave Negro. See, in the olden slavery days, we had a house slave and we had a yard slave. And the house slave was the one who stayed in the house. He ate the chicken. He had the slave master's leftover suits and clothes and sweaters and everything. And when it was cold outside, he was in the heat, and it was hot outside, he sat under the fan. He was the house nigger. And when the slave master's house caught on fire, the house negro would beat the master putting out the fire. Boss, our house is on fire. Our house is on fire. But to the yard slave, that was the prettiest fire he ever seen. The one out there working and being whooped daily. Burn, baby, burn. He just look at it and say, burn, baby, burn. So in America today, in this modern house of bondage, we have house slaves and yard slaves. You all out here every day catching hell, don't see no future, can't find a job. When you do find it, you're working like hell to take home $90 a week. You sure feel it, you're too tired to enjoy it. Time you pay or fuel your bills off, you're broke again. You got to start off on Monday working another hard week, never see no future. Take a chance and buy your car that costs $4,000, which ain't that much. $4,500, they ain't gonna buy nothing but a good Buick or Oldsmobile now. Time you get that thing paid off, it's 4 years old. Then you go to trade it in, you pay $4,800 for it. You go to trade in, he'll give you $900 on it on the new one. You're a slave all over again, working and tearing your poor body to pay for old car. You don't see no future. There's no future among white folks for you. Now, you are the yard slaves, and the house niggers are the ones in Beverly Hills, the Sammy Davis Jr.'s, the Sidney Poitiers, the Herbert Fontes, the Lou Rawls, the Eartha Kitt, Diane Curl, Chubby Checker, Lena Horne, Bob McNairn, Leslie Uggams, and they thought I was going to be one. And I would have been one if I hadn't been sneaking to hear him for like 3 years. I was sneaking. I was scared too. That's why we know you, because we are you. We know what you do. We know what you like. You can't trick Muslims. People think Muslims are squares. They see us clean and in the restaurant drinking juice and milk, and they say, them niggas are lame. Yeah, they square. That's right, them niggas are lame. Because I used to say it, you know. I used to slip around the brothers, you know, thinking I'm all hip, and everything I do, he knowed it, but wouldn't tell me because he was nursing me until I got in. These people, we are not squares, we are the real hippies. We are the real hippies. Negroes mocking white folks. Old raggedy shirt, old tie hanging down from here. I'm a hippie and let's crash tonight, Dad. Now, the followers of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad are the original and the real hippies. We are hip to everything. You got to be hip to it to get around it. Huh? Yeah, you got to be hip to it. These brothers are not ugly. These are handsome young men. Got money, nice cars, going home to pray, walking past the miniskirts, walking past the beer joints and the parties. Huh? It takes a hip man to do that. The squares, that fool that's waking up tomorrow, broke, all burned out, hangover, head killing him from that cocaine he was snorting and them reefers he was smoking. He the square. Yeah. The brother getting up in the morning at 5 o'clock to say his prayers, breathing good fresh air, brush his teeth, take him a shower, feeling good and alert. He's the hip one. He'll stay here to be 100 years old. One other average Negro comes out at 45 years old. That's the hip man that can stay here to be 100. That's the square that died. Don't think we know square. We hip. We got to know you to talk to you. A Chinese cannot tell you who you are. A Russian or African or Jamaican, I don't care how black he is, if he's not from right here in America, he don't know you. We know how you think. We know how you talk. We know what you like to do. Well, see what few people we got here tonight? This place will be too packed if We promoted it like Negroes like things. You couldn't get, this is too small. All I got to do is go get the Four Tops and the Temptations and the Supremes and say whiskey and wine will be here, and all the Foxes and all miniskirts and every Negro man in town will be breaking these doors down. We know how to get you here. We know what you like, because we used to be the same way. Same with the sisters. We know what they like to hear and do. So we could not get to you if we did not know you. And that's why the white man is so afraid of the Muslim, because we have experienced both sides of the fence. And one reason he's afraid of me is because I've been behind all of the white man's doors. The TV shows. I've been with them, and they all are phonies. The mayor of the city, you'll see him on TV tonight, you can't tell it, he's got on 3 cakes of powder. Sam the Arctic, huh? Just like a bunch of fags when Johnny Carson and Merv Griffin and all these big-neck white men and these TV shows get together. They have a whole line of powder rooms they never let you little field slaves see. And all of them, they got special makeup men, all kind of powder and eye makeup. They putting on everything. And when they come on TV, it look like they're natural. But if they come on natural, they look so pale and sick, they have to have that powder. And you look at TV and they look so superior, and they just brainwash you with that little old TV. Huh? And they're scared of me because I done been behind the doors, then got all of this, and now leaving them and bringing it to you. And they don't like it. Another reason they didn't dig me, for those of you who don't understand, in my last 2 warm-ups that I had, the last 2 warm-ups that I had, immediately, after the brothers that come to my fights, immediately after the fight, I'd break out of the dressing room, 5 or 6, 20 brothers with me, all of them black, no white men, run right back to our victory party at the hotel, and we get us a big old dining hall, and we have punch and ice cream and cake, and we set up to about as late as 2:30 talking about the fight. The fight is over 11:30. We set up a couple hours, and here's I think we converted 2 brothers and a sister at my fight with Anna Terrell. We were in a room. She said she's never seen nothing like it in her life. We were in a room, and we had about looked like 300 people there. 300, and not one white man or white lady. And the white reporter would come around. They just get cold and shook up. They said, "We got to get rid of this nigga." That's what they were saying to themselves. 300 people in here. The world heavyweight title fight is over. And not a white boss, no Jews, no cigar smoking crackers bossing. All black people drinking coffee and happy. Huh? That wasn't my doing, that was his doing. See? He taught me. See? The $10 million that I have thrown out of the door, gave up in movies, commercials, advertisements, royalties, heavyweight title fights. Some $10 million I could have grossed easy in 3 years with no trouble. $10 million for myself. Why did I do it? To have the freedom to come to say what I want to you. I couldn't come. Could you picture Sammy Davis up here talking like this? You picture Lena Horne or Eartha Kitt or Diane Carroll out here talking to you like this, or Chubby Checker or Lou Rawls? No, they can't do this. They lose that job, that crumb. Are they afraid of losing it? As the minister said, we get these educations and things for what we can do for ourselves. They're not thinking about you. And once you become a follower of Elijah Muhammad, we love so much for our people until we'll give up everything just to be able to convert 100. Because I know that the white man is going to be destroyed, and the 100 that I did talk to and convert will see the hereafter and be saved. We must give up personal gain in order to free or to help free the masses. When the white man first came to America, There was no air conditioners. There was no jet planes. He didn't have the electric lights, the beautiful highways laid out, and the railroad tracks, the overpass expressways. It was nothing but wilderness, swamps, Indians, no electricity, no ice, nothing of luxury. But nevertheless, he kept fighting and fighting and killing the Indians and fighting, watching his daughter scabbed, watching his mama raped, killing and fighting and watching his brother's heart blowed out until he got the land. Then he died out, and the next generation came along, and they got him some horse and wagons and made him some little dirt highways, and then they died out, and they later progressed until now America is a heaven. Jet planes. I can jump on a jet now and be in Chicago in 3 hours.